Hey, everybody, and welcome back. It's been a minute, that is for sure. We've been doing a lot of research and all kinds of different things that are absolutely going to blow your mind in the upcoming weeks, upcoming months. We're really going to change the way that golf instruction is perceived. I will tell you that right now. But, anyways, today's lesson is about Mr. Hogan's pre-swing secret, and it is absolutely not what you think, but it's going to change the way that you start thinking about your golf swing as far as trying to do what Mr. Hogan was doing. Remember, if you haven't yet, go check out the masterclass. It is awesome, and it's going to help you elevate your golf swing by implementing, some of the fundamentals that Mr. Hogan was doing. And most of us here kind of believe that he had the best golf swing in the world that's ever been, used in a golf swing situation, if you will. But he really was the greatest for a reason, guys. Now, this lesson is about the pre-swing secret, right? And I'm using this dowel rod right now just because I want to show you some things afterwards. But Mr. Hogan would take a step back, come up here, step, and then make his swing. And that was really his pre-swing kind of movement. He'd just get up there. He'd be like, okay, I'm going to step back and then plant and then swing through. So what was this really doing? A lot of people think, well, if this was a golf club, right? A lot of people think Mr. Hogan stepped back so that he could clear a path for his hands. Well, maybe, but not really, guys, okay? What he was really doing is stepping back because it's this backward movement away from the golf ball that he was seeking, and to seek to get that feel, which is a phenomenal thing once you understand this, okay? So let me show you this again. Mr. Hogan would step back, come up, step, and then come through. So the key to this is understanding, okay, step back, he's stepping back, comes up here with his arms, steps this way. Now, it's not stepping out like that. It's just he's stepping back, and then he steps to the 22.5. Steps back, and then his foot goes to 22.5, and then he's able to, swing around this, if you will. So what is he really doing, guys? All right, you have to learn. Everybody tells us, this is a great drill. Let's put it on our chest, and let's turn into this right leg. Well, turning into this right leg is not moving back. It's just not, okay? But if we can put this dowel rod across our chest, and if I step back, look at the amount of turn that I'm getting. Let me do that again. So if I step back, look at how my body's turning. If I step back, look at how my body is opening. So what we've got to learn to do, instead of thinking, turn this, right? Because that's not going to help us. We need to learn to push. I'm going to put my right hand, which would be trail hand for a right-handed player. I'm going to put it here. And instead of trying to turn this thing, I'm just going to push it back. I'm going to turn, right? It's not an optical illusion, but we have to understand what's going on. So when Mr. Hogan would step back, see how he's getting his body to turn. Then step back. That's what he's doing. He's getting his body to move back. So how do you do this in the golf swing? If I'm here and I tell myself, swing back, watch my butt for a second. See how it's kind of moving backwards, which everybody says when Mr. Hogan got to the top, that he'd get that extra little back and sit motion. This is why, guys. So all of a sudden he's here. He's going to push this back as this is going back, which this is being your pelvis or your butt cheek, however you want to think about it. Everything is coming into me. It's coming into me, which is pushing it back. Okay? Pretty simple to understand. Okay? So that's part one. You've got to learn. Think of this being like remember the old Westerns and everything, and you'd have the double doors or the barn doors or whatever, and they swing this way and swing back into you to be able to walk through them. So if I was going to walk into like the old Western saloon, if you will, that door, I would normally push it open, both of them, so that I could walk in. But for this exercise, what I want you to do is imagine you're fixing to walk into the saloon. There's a barn door on this side with the hinge being on the left side of me, which is my lead side. Now, all I'm going to do is push this door open. So when I'm pulling it back into me, So I'm pulling everything back into me, which is getting my body to feel like it's moving backwards. So from this angle, I'm on the door that's going to swing back into me. So all of a sudden, I'm moving backwards to do this. And all of a sudden, you're going to be like, whoa, I really feel weight on my heel. I feel very flat-footed on the lead foot right now. But what this is doing by swinging everything back into me, it's getting me in this position of my body that is absolutely going to put the downswing on steroids. Okay, now here comes the trick in the downswing. You have to be moving back. Think about this. If I'm moving back in the backswing, there is no reason for me to want to move forward in the downswing. If you're here and we're saying move everything in, which is back, now everybody's going to think, well, now I'm going to go out. Well, look what happens when I go in to me, which is back, and then I decide to go out to the golf ball. Early extension, here we go, all kinds of bad problems. That's what's wrong with the golf swing, guys. We have to learn to say, I'm going to move back into me. Then during the transition in the downswing, I've got to move back. And then look what this is doing to my body. I'm not early extending because I'm moving back and in the downswing, in the backswing, and then in the downswing, I'm moving back and in again. So when we look at it from this perspective, I'm moving back, and I'm going to exaggerate it this time. You need to feel like you're moving. Look at that, I'm back. I overdid that, okay? It's not going to be that much. But you've got to get the feel of what this is like to move back. So all of a sudden, we're going to go back and turn the door in. There we are, right? So now in the downswing, I'm not going to go out. I've moved back this way in the backswing. Now I'm going to move back in the downswing. And look what this does to me. And then all of a sudden, because I've gone back and in, downswing, I'm going back and into me on the lead side. Look where it puts me. Right here where Mr. Hogan got every single time. And when you can understand this, you are going to start taking your game to a different level. And I promise, guys, there are so many things that Mr. Hogan was doing that we're all looking for in the pages of the book. We're all going, oh my gosh, let's go to chapter 5. Let's go to chapter 3. This is such great information, and it is. But you have to start watching the man himself. Now, we can't really go up. Mr. Hogan passed away several years ago. So what do we have? What are we lucky enough to have? We're lucky enough to have some swing footage of his golf swing. Granted, most of it isn't the quality of what it is today, but you've really got to start looking at his swing. What was he really doing? You know, that's kind of like I could stand up here and say, everybody thinks Mr. Hogan did this because that was the rope around the arms in the book. But I can assure you, Mr. Hogan didn't do this. He was more like this. And there is a reason. And we're going to get into that too, guys. Basically, what Jamie and I have decided is that we are just going to really start unloading a lot of things about what Mr. Hogan was doing to help you become the best that you can be. Now remember, Mr. Hogan, the way he swung the club, it was more rotational. It was more around his body. And these things, in my opinion, are the best way to swing a golf club, especially if you're over 50 years old. I'm over 50 years old, guys. I'm 53. So this rotational movement is a lot better for me then picking the club up, trying to drop it down, moving laterally, which I overdid that lateral movement as an exaggeration, but moving laterally, it's just, there's a lot of things that can go wrong in the modern golf swing teachings. Why do you think there are so many lessons around the same topic? It's like a big circle on YouTube. Oh, let's talk about the right elbow. Boom, the right elbow comes into play. Then everybody's doing a video on the right elbow. Then it's how to make the lateral move. Everything. It's just this cycle of information because that's what they think everybody has a problem with. And guess what? In the modern golf swing, everybody pretty much has the same problems. Early extension, lower back pain, trying to get the weight to shift like they'd say in the pressure plates. But I'm telling you, you are going to solve problem number one, secret number one. Mr. Hogan's pre-swing little routine was to get him to feel like he is moving back in the backswing and then back in the downswing. It's that simple. So, again, here's the drill, which we haven't gotten into yet, but it's you put this down rod across your chest like this, and I don't want you to turn, because if I turn, there's no back component to this. So watch what. Now, I'm not going back and going way over here, guys. That's not it. We're going to go back, and I'm going to put my hands just like this. So now I'm going to say move back. See how it looks like to you when I move back? It looks like I'm over here, but I am not, guys. I am right, and women, I am centered. Because if I stand up, look at how centered I really am. But optically, when I do this and I push back, look how it looks like I'm over this right side. But I am not. It's just real simple. I'm going to push back. See how I'm centered now? And now I'm going to push back in the transition in the downswing. Back. And you're going to start feeling your legs and all these different things. Now, again, I haven't mentioned where this watch what happens, because this is an entirely different move, which we're going to get into next. But as I push back, and then I'm able, which is going to be the next topic that we get into, the correct arm structure and what Mr. Hogan was really doing, it then allows, as he's going to the top, and that gets loaded, look at what happens right when I get here, because I push back. Now I'm going to keep pushing back, and look at how my body starts to recenter on its own. Now, that's another topic for the next video, so make sure you look for that one. And if you haven't yet, go check out the masterclass, guys, because I'm going to tell you it is going to help you improve your golf game. You're not turning into Mr. Hogan, guys, but you're going to strike the ball just as well as he did in your own way, because it is about understanding the fundamentals. But then what it is really about is truly understanding what your body is capable of, because when you can finally feel, which they've been saying, oh, feel isn't real, bullshit. I'm calling it right now. When you can feel what it is to move back, go to the top, and then move back in the downswing, you are going to feel that. It is not, oh, feel isn't real, and I'm telling you to move back, and you're going to try to do everything everybody else is doing. Of course you're not going to feel that. But when you get the right information for what's really going on, you are going to start establishing real feels. And when you can feel it, I promise you, you can do it. So just remember, guys, we're not trying to turn. We're trying to pull everything back into us. And look at this. I'm balanced like a cat. But it looks to you that I am over my trail leg. I am not, because I pulled everything back into me, back. Now I am centered. So if I had a club in my hand, that's what it's going to look like. And it looks like I'm over here, but I'm not. But then all of a sudden I get to the top. There's my recenter. Now the trick is to no longer feel this in the drill. Now put the dowel rod behind us and pull it back with this lead side, which is going to drive the right side or the trail side. Now, stay back. There you go. Back swing, in and back. Down swing, flip it over, back. And you are going to start having this incredible feeling of what it means to move back and to stay back. You're no longer going to have this urge to want to go out to the golf ball. Give it a try, guys. Glad that I'm back. Glad to see all of you again. We're going to make a couple more videos. But like I said, Jamie and I have a lot of information that is coming in the next couple weeks, next couple months. It is absolutely going to help you become the best player that you can be. And that is the absolute truth, guys. Good to see everybody again. We'll see you next time.